Hello, this is Satya. See me at jensatya.com. I work in alternative medicine and alternative counseling and have for over 20 years. And I'm going to be speaking on the topic of reconnection trauma as it relates to the need for personal bias and compassion during this time of transition. Thank you for listening. It's a normal part of being human to have personal bias. It's part of how we decide what we like, what we don't like, and what we believe in. One of the challenges in the current situation is that there's so much information out there around topics that we truly don't fully understand yet, that people are taking information that fits their personal bias of what they need in their world and stating that it's true and then backing it up with whatever facts they're finding on the internet or hearing from people that they believe and trust. And that might be conflicting with something that someone else needs and finds. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to give you an example now. Imagine that there is a mother of 3 and she needs to put her kids in daycare. If the mother needs to put her kids in daycare, then part of utilizing personal bias is to look for information that backs up that putting kids in daycare right now is safe. She will find that information, and as she does so, it will make her feel more calm, because that's what personal bias does. When we can back up our personal bias of what our needs are in the moment with something that someone else says is okay or true, our stress level goes down and we feel more calm. It's part of how the unconscious mind works. Now, if I then have a grandparent who wants to see those kids who are going to be going into daycare, and the information that grandparent is looking at is saying that putting kids in daycare could make it so that grandparents can't see those kids for longer, that grandparent might look for information that says that putting kids in daycare is unsafe in order to encourage that parent to allow the grandparent to take care of the kids. This is just an example. And one of the things that we need to look at here is neither party is trying to cause one another harm. They're actually both coming from a place of love and trying to get their personal needs met within the situation, which is what we as humans do. The main challenge is when I'm dealing with someone that I love and I am talking out of a personal bias situation where I'm backing it up with facts that I'm finding and it doesn't coincide with their personal bias. If we're not respectful of one another, it can feel very painful and like we're hitting each other's fear walls and triggering one another instead of coming together in love. And there are many ways that we can have a conversation around this. I'm going to offer an idea of a healthy conversation. A healthy conversation could be where if that grandparent is the grandparent of these children that are going into daycare, the grandparent and the mother can have a conversation about their personal needs, about their personal fears, and find a way to come together and have all of the needs met. So for instance, it could be that the kids are in daycare during the week and that somehow they find a way to have the grandparents see them on the weekends in a healthy way that works for both parties so that both parties' needs are met in a healthy way that feels respectful of what their belief systems are based on the information that they're going to. Now that when we have conversations like that where we honor one another's differences through compassion and respect, we can feel connected. Another way to do that would be for each party to insist the other is wrong. And when we do things like that, we can feel isolated even when we're together. So I encourage you as you move forward to look at your needs and the needs of another and recognize that we're going to be hitting each other's walls a lot right now as we're reconnecting. And part of the reason for that is all of the conflicting information that's out there. And one of the opportunities that we have as individuals is we can make a choice of how we choose to communicate about it with those we love. The more we respect one another with our differences, the stronger our communities are. I hope this was helpful. Many blessings in good health.